So who have you got in today?
Got Mark Wright coming up. He's just become a new dad, so I can't wait just to find out who's holding him as he kind of holds the baby.
Nice to see you. Where do you want me, over there?
Yeah, you. Mark Wright, he's
Anna,
in the
how are
house. Your new dad.
Whitey and Righty.
Whitey and Righty?
Yeah.
That's got to be a show, doesn't it? So your new dad,
Yeah.
and we've just been chatting about this. When you have a baby, that kind of support network comes to the fore more than ever before. Who sort of throughout your life, and maybe even now, is that one person who's really had your back?
It's very hard, that question for me, because it's not just one. We have a very tight-knit family. I am going to give you one, but we have a very tight-knit family. And if I say my mum, my dad will be upset. If I say my dad, my mum will be upset. But I am going to say my mum, because no matter what the circumstance, if I'm upset, if I'm happy, if I'm doing a job, if I'm out of work, she's there every step of the way to talk me through it. And as you just mentioned there, I've got a new baby and she's just been incredible as a nanny already. I mean, a nan, we call her a nanny. Carol.
Well, they double up, don't they?
Yeah. She's so supportive of her kids. I actually said to my brothers and sisters the other day, I said, when we were young, because my mum and dad were very close to their parents, all our families are close. I said, I don't remember being in them being in their mid-30s and seeing their parents as much as we do, and their parents calling them as much as our parents do. Are we just like kids, or did they grow up too fast? Do you know what I mean? Because they are. Yeah. We speak to our mum and dad every day. Like if I need something, they're there in a flash. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be sat in this chair now if it weren't for my mum.
Oh my God, it's Carol, is it? Yeah, I follow her on Instagram. She's a legend. I kind of want her to be my mum, for being honest. And how have you shown appreciation to Carol? Do you know when you're a teenager and you're sort of not particularly pleasant to be around, and then you come full circle when you have kids and you're like, I'm so sorry, Mum, for everything I did when I was a teen. How have you kind of shown Carol like the love and had her back? I'm
very fortunate to have this career, and it takes me to amazing places and to amazing things and events and situations I land myself in. I pinch myself, 15 years later, and I always take her with me. Like when I was living in LA for a bit, I used to fly her over all the time, her and my dad, and if I'm in a hotel in London, I'll try and bring them with me. I just, where I can, I treat them as much as I can, and I'm always showing them appreciation in every way, with words, but also with actions.
What about the kind of little bits and pieces, like you're saying you live quite close, like the day-to-day stuff, like a cup of tea here or a chat there, like those are amazing big gestures, but are there smaller moments you have with your mum?
Yeah, all the time. I'll always, because I drive past my mum's whenever I'm coming to work. I drive past my mum's because I live more in the countryside, so I have to go through her town where she lives, and I always stop. If it's on the way or on the way back, I'll always pull in and stop. So I see her every day, and then she'll do the same to us. If I'm not going out, she'll come round ours and see us, and that was before the baby as well.
And is she kind of one of your biggest supports, but also is she a good critic? Like would she tell you something as it is, or is she there just with open arms?
She would tell me how it is when it comes to my personality.
Okay, what's been the feedback, Mark? What's Carol got to say about Mark Wright?
I stress a lot.
Yeah.
And like I'm always we call it a pickle. Like they buy me pickle pajamas, like Mr. Pickle pajamas every year for Christmas. And she's like, Mark, calm down. And she always like sits me down and she's like, listen, it doesn't really matter. They're both good situations. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's a pickle. She's like, just choose one. And she knows how to calm me.
You've spoken about your mum and your dad and your family, and I think, to be fair, a lot of people looking in your life can see that. How has that love, that support, that foundation, them having your back, how has it shaped your career and what you do?
Do you know what? Someone said to me the other day, what advice, like how are you going to bring your kids up now you're a dad? I just think the best parenting tip in the world is just shed your kids with love. And my mum and dad loved us so much, and they still do. I just feel like if you're loved like that, and obviously, if it doesn't work out for you at home, you still can make your own path. But with our life, I feel like we're all where we are because of the love that they gave us, the comfort and the support, and just growing up in a household where there was no kind of, we were never in fear of our parents. We always knew they'd have our back, whether it was through the good times or the bad, because we all have them. And They were just always there, and if I got in trouble at school, although I would get told off, my mum would...
What sort of thing did you do at school, Mark?
I wasn't a horrible kid. I was a nice kid, but I just used to like being involved where there was a little bit of naughtiness going on. I was always there.
What kind of naughtiness are we talking?
That's for another day. No, I just was a little bit of a cheeky chap. I'd be out on the street with my mates on a bike. We'd always be like playing up and whatever. I'd get in trouble and I'd be told, but they'd make sure they did it in a supportive way. Like, listen, you can't do this, and they'd give me advice and why. And I just think that's why we've turned out the way we have.
Outside of like parenting and outside of the advice your parents have given you in terms of your new daughter, and obviously she's 10 weeks old now.
10, yeah.
Oh my God, how's it going?
It's amazing. Best thing ever.
It must be amazing your mum watching you become a dad as well.
Yeah, I mean, they just, my mum and dad love being a nan and granddad. Then my brother's got 2 under 3, and my sister's got 1 who's just turning 3 next week. So they're all coming at once. My mum said she's been waiting for grandkids for ages, but she was told that once they come like buses, and that's exactly what's happened. They're just like coming, and she's like, well, I can't keep up.
So aside from kind of like the parenting advice that sort of we spoke about, what about the best kind of life/career advice you've been given? It doesn't have to be by your mum or your dad, but somebody maybe who's held you in your career in terms of how you've maybe kept true to your values and where you've got to today.
I think that is my dad, to be honest. When I used to play football as a profession, and I was a left back, and there was a guy like 2 years older than me, and he was obviously in front of me and getting closer to the first team. He was older. I was like, Dad, like, he plays different to me, and I'm not as quick as him, and I don't do what he does. He's like, listen, son, stay in your lane. Focus on what you're good at. Think about what you are good at, and just don't think about anyone else. And go, right, I'm good at this. And just tackle it and tackle it and tackle it, and then be a perfectionist in that. And I think it's the best advice, because in our industry you can look at people who are doing a lot better than us. There's always someone doing better, and whether that be TV presenting for me, I can look at a TV presenter who's got every show on telly, and I can sit there and go, why aren't I doing that? Why aren't I like him? Why aren't I as funny as him? But then that's just going to wreck what I'm doing. So I need to stay in my lane and just work on what I know that I'm good at and work on my qualities. And my dad taught me that from a young boy.
That's amazing. It's weird. Everybody in this series has spoken about their dad or their mum, and I think when you come down to kind of the things that really matter the most to you, the things that matter to Mark Wright, it's not house, it's not stuff, it's not career, even as prolific as it is. What is the one thing right here in this moment that you would ensure that's the most important thing to you?
Like, I know we're here talking about family, and that's what this is about. So it's so easy for me to keep pulling it back to that. But can I say family?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't born with a natural talent. I'm not a musician. I can't sing for toffee. I can't act. I'm not a comedian. But somehow I've managed to carve out a career for 15 years, and I genuinely do put it down to my family. I know how proud I make them every time I'm doing something. I know, like, I went round my mum's the other day, and it was on the way back from doing my radio show, and I went round and she had like the Alexa on and Heart was on. I was like, you've been listening to this all morning? She went, of course I have. I've been listening since 9 o'clock, since you started. And I'm like, Mum, I've been doing it 15 years. You're not bored of this yet? But that's what gets me ticking, so without them, maybe the drive would start to lower. So I'll probably say I'll insure my family, because if I lose them, then the career won't be as good.
I love that. And in terms of family, you've obviously got a 10-week-old daughter. How do you hope she's in this seat in 20 years' time? How do you want her to talk about you?
The same way I talk about my mum and dad. If I can be the half the parent my mum and dad have been to me, I know she'll be good. I know she will.
Love that, Mark. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Heart and Aviva, for, I was going to say, getting to the heart of the issue with Mark Wright. But you are like Heart personified. Family.
No, it's a really nice chat. Thank you so much for having me.
Family is indeed everything. Shout out to Carol. Thanks, darling.
Cheers, darling.
Thank you.